Yeah, so what we did was we went to, in the morning, to this alleged, so the judgment said a different court, he was found guilty, and he had to pay 20,000. So I managed to get my dad to take a day off, and I said, you know what, forget what you're doing, just take a damn day off and let's sort this shit out. So we went down to that court, and I said, hi, you know, I heard a bit of hearsay. Somebody said that my dad was, there was a case with my dad's name on, and he'd been found guilty and he had to pay a fine. And she said, oh, okay, brilliant. You can pay it here. And I said, yeah, but actually I don't know what the case is, and I don't know what the fine is. So actually, if you can look upon your computer, maybe you can tell me what it is, and maybe I've got my checkbook today, so I don't mind paying. And then she said, fine, have you got a reference number? I said, I think the case reference my friend told me is this. And she typed it up, and she said, no, there is that's not one of ours. That's just nothing to do with us. And I said, oh, okay. Maybe my friend wrote that bit wrong. Can you search under the name? She searched the name, she searched the postcode, she searched the date of birth, the address, everything, and said, look, she goes, maybe your friend, I don't know, maybe he's got it mixed up, but there's no way that you owe us any money. And I said, brilliant, thanks. That's what I wanted to hear. But do you mind if I ask your name? You can't have my name. And I said, yes, I can. But, you know, all it is, the only reason why I want to do this is I just want to write in to say that, you know, you searched these things and it showed up nothing, and just to cover my back so later on nobody can turn up and say, you know, you owed this much money. And she said, oh, okay, fine, this is my first name. I said, oh, okay, thanks, that's all I needed. So that's all I did, was went home, wrote down on a piece of paper and said, it came in, these things were checked, there was nothing to pay. Can you just confirm in writing that this is the case, you know, that there isn't anything that she couldn't find? And then what we did was we went to the original court, Leamington, and then went there and said, oh, fine, I just wanted to pay. And they said, oh, no, you don't pay here, you go to Birmingham. I said, oh, really? Why Birmingham? And they said, oh, that's the central paying office, the fees office. And I said, oh, okay, that's nice. What have they got to do with anything? And they said, oh, well, you just got to go over there and pay. We can't take your money here. And I said, oh, so if I wanted to pay right now, you're refusing my payment. And they said, that's right, we're not going to take it, you got to go there. I said, oh, okay, that's nice. I'll write that down. And then I said to him, oh, you know what? I want to double check. You know, who the hell's the claimant? I've had so many cases here. And he said, you know who the claimant is? And I said, do I? And he said, yeah, I've seen you in this case. And I said, oh, okay, brilliant. You know what? I've got quite a few other cases going on, and even I've lost track what case this is and how much the money is. Do you mind just having a quick look in the file? It must be there in front of you anyway. And he said, okay, okay, I'll have a look. And then he came back and wrote it on a scrappy piece of paper. And I said, oh, is it some sort of a recession? You can't afford to put it on any letterhead or anything now? And he said, you've got this, and it was served to you. And I said, well, actually, it's my dad it should have been served to, of which, no, I haven't got it in front of me, and you've got it clearly behind that door there. So why can't you just photocopy it and just bring it out? So he photocopied it, brought it back out, and I said, oh, okay. So, yeah, because I thought it was Rugby Borough Council, and it's got this vagina, you know, who the hell's this name? And they said, oh, that's the Queen. I said, oh, okay. And he said, it's Regina. And I said, okay, so Regina, where I see Regina, I should see the Queen. And it's Queen versus my dad. And he said, yes, that's right. And I said, okay. And I said, who's this Crown Court? Who's that then? And he said, oh, okay, that's us, the clerks. And I said, oh, okay, so who do you work for? And he said, we work for the Queen. And I said, oh, okay, so if I replace the Queen's Court, would that make sense? And he said, yes, that's right. And I said, okay. And then I said, oh, so the only other bit that I'm not sure of is the judge. Who's the judge? The judge works for the judiciary. Oh, okay, who are they? Oh, they're the judges. And I said, okay, but who do they work for? And they said, oh, the Queen. And I said, oh, so let me get this right. So the Queen took my dad to court, in her own court, with her own judge. And we're supposed to get justice in there. And that was it. The guy just went crazy and said, I'm not answering any of your questions. I can't answer these sort of things. And I said, well, I'm only copying what you said. You said it was the Queen. But really, I think I could have took it a bit further, and I think Karl was going to jump in at this point and say something about that. But really the question is who's the queen? Because throughout this entire conversation, it's less.
I'll jump in for a second because I was going to jump in before when you were telling me a little bit about this, but I let you go on. What if you said to the
so
clerk?
She said the queen.
You said to the clerk, how could it have been fair? Because it was a crown court, queen's court, crown court, crown judge, crown employees, crown everything. And you said what? How could it be fair? Just run that part over again.
I said to him something like, so is that right? So were we supposed to have gone in there to actually get any justice? And he just went crazy, threw his papers up in the air and said, you know what, you just don't want to pay the debt. And I said, I've got my checkbook here today. I guess I actually came to pay. What are you talking about? You're the one not taking the payment.
The big thing is that he doesn't know, and I guess you don't know, or you don't remember, is how do you get justice? When you're in the crown court, crown attorneys, crown judge, crown, how do you get justice? How do you get justice?
You go to Queensland.
What's that?
Queensland.
The other thing you do is you move your court in at the same time.
Yeah, which the judge didn't know.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
So when the Crown that's exactly what I did with you on Friday the 13th. The Crown was bringing their court. The Crown brought all that stuff. I brought all our stuff. That's how we got justice. The Crown court was rolling. My court was rolling. My court's superior to Crown court. That's how you get justice. And that's what I'm trying to teach you guys. Go to Crown court. Love Crown court. Be guilty in Crown court. Who gives a shit? Yeah. Just make sure you get your court with you. And your court EAs in court will say, the only problem is we're far superior than any silly Crown court. We're the court of man. This is a common law land. This ain't a crown land. Sorry. Your crown land? Yeah, well, that's back over in Palestine. That's Judeo. That's over there. That's in the city of London. The only problem is this is a Christian land. Just like if it was Sharia law. Just like if we were in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, that's great. You have all this Judeo customs and codes and all this other stuff. The only problem is you're standing in Saudi Arabia. The only problem is this is Sharia land. This is Muslim territory. The only problem is this is still the Church of England. Sorry, this is still a Christian nation. Sorry. Your nonsense doesn't work here. Sorry. But, take me to the city of London. I'm sure it will work. You guys can understand the land that you're standing upon, whether it's Sharia land or Buddhist land or Christian land or Jewish land. You got to realize the rules that they're playing under. They just let you people forget that it's the Church of England still is reigning supreme in England. And that's why they're trying to make such a mockery of the Church of England. I mean, I see newscasts over here. It's like it says 3 people show up now to Church of England services. They're saying, well, why do the people of England even support the Church of England anymore? We shouldn't even support it anymore. You know what? We should just let it disappear, because all religions, all they do is start wars. So you know what? The Church of England should just be, stricken from the records. We should just get rid of the Church of England altogether. Right? That's what you see on BBC all the time, right? I mean, that's what we see in the United States.
Yeah, no.
The Church of England is a joke. As far as the newscasters are concerned, the Church of England is a joke.
And there's always discrediting with pedophilia and stuff. That's the newest one. Whether that's true or not. And
that's right.
Only time will tell with that.
But I guess all these good, godly, cloaked ones, all these Judeo cloaked ones, I guess they would never do anything, wrong. They would never, molest children. They would never dare think of doing such a thing. It's only got to be the Church of England clergy that's doing it. It could never be, the members of the Crown. They would never be, ever even think of doing such a thing. Because they know because the Crown knows if they get caught, they're going to have to go to a Crown court in front of a Crown judge, in front of a Crown prosecutor, and they know, the Crown's really going to prosecute the Crown. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a joke. Yeah, exactly. That's a joke. I'm kidding. Crown's never going to prosecute the Crown. But see, that's what I'm saying is it's that simple. Whenever you're moving into a Crown court, you just make sure you bring the court of man with you. You let them do their thing. Who cares? Just like I said when I was there with you, who cares? You're like, but wait a second, we're all supposed to appear as a man. You know what? Appear as a person. So what? Why? Because we're still going to appear as a man as well. You're like, we can do that? Yeah, watch. It's going to be easy. Lots of fun. Let's just wrap this thing up so I go to hell home. You accept their invitation, their summons to appear, and they have to accept your summons and invitation to appear. They ain't got a choice. You want me to fight by your rules? Fine. Now you fight by mine. The only problem is your rules, the biggest thing you could use against me is a knife. You know what I could use against you? I could use a bazooka. So you're going to lose. You might cut me. Ouch. Yeah, well, what's wrong with it to you? It's like, hey, that's not fair. Well, you know what? Go find a code land. Go to France. You know, go to Palestine. You know, do your silly stuff over there. You know, but it ain't going to work here. Thank God, it's still not going to work here. But eventually they'll convince all the people of England that the Church of England is a joke and, you know, Christian stuff is a joke and we should abolish all that stuff so we can move right into a cold land. And that way the machines could just take over. That way you do a fine, a violation. Yeah, they could get some sort of machine Bobby, a machine video watching you and say, oh, you jaywalked, and they do a retinal scan from 500 miles away, and they say, oh, yeah, and you get a ticket in the mail or summons, or you go to use your debit card, and you say, wait a second, I just been, you know, deducted 500 quid, you know, because I was fined, you know, 200 this, 300 that, just on my way to the store. And it's like, well, they'll say next time, don't do it. You know, you won't be fined. You say, well, this is ridiculous. I don't have a jury. Don't it? No, you don't. It's a code land. You exceeded the speed limit and you jaywalked. That's 500 quid. Well, how am I going to buy my groceries now? The machine's going to be like, you know, next customer. The machine ain't going to care. And that way you can't hold a man or woman liable for taking stuff away from you. The machine is going to do it. Computers are going to do it. Automatically withdraw things right out of your accounts. So you can't sue no man or woman for doing it to you. It's like, they'll be like no human beings that you can argue with. It's like, did you do it, yes or no? The machine's going to be like, yeah, we got you on video, you did it, it's done. $500 fine. Next case. Who do you appeal? Appeal to what? Did you, you know, you're telling me that's not you on video, you're telling me that's not your retinas we scanned from 500 miles up in space? Of course it was you. You know, it's going to get silly the more and more technology comes in. That's why, to me, I say to people, it's so important to stay diverse. That's why it's so important to not allow just one system to take over. You know, it's like I say to people, my child's got Downs, and they tried to convince the mother of my kids and the next baby she had that she should get an embryonic fluid sample to make sure the next one didn't have Downs. And they said, if this next one has Downs, we'll kill it for you. And the mother of the kids was like, well, that's great, thank you. I was like, what? You're both insane. I said, no, if the next one has Downs and the next 200 have Downs, so all God bless us. Like, what? I said, you have no idea why God put a Downs child on planet Earth. I said, the only thing I can think of is he's got an extra chromosome. The only thing I can think of is a massive virus could hit planet Earth. And they're going to be watching people all over the planet Earth dropping dead, except for these 23 chromosome individuals. And they're going to say, why are the 23 chromosome individuals alive and the 22 chromosomes die? It's like having a chicken virus, or the chickens all die, but the people who deal with the chickens don't die because they don't have different chromosomes. The virus doesn't, only attacks that, that creature that has, 20 chromosomes like a chicken. And the 22 chromosome people like us who handle the chickens, we're not affected. Do we carry that virus? Oh, you better believe we do. But is it affecting us? No, because for some reason the virus couldn't care less. It doesn't attack something with 22 chromosomes. So I said, how do you guys know if you kill all these 23 chromosome people on planet Earth because they're such a burden? How do you know we might need them in 5, 10, 20, 50, 100 years from now? Maybe they're going to save the human race because we could study them and learn from them. But if you kill them all, how can we study and learn from them if you get rid of them all? So see, that's what I'm saying. That's the only thing bad about a code system. They will get rid of everything thinking they're purifying everything and making everything squeaky clean. And it's the same thing my poor sister did with her kids. She bleached the hell out of everything in the house. And now her kids are adults and they're getting sick like crazy. And I said, you got to let the kids play in the mud and, pick up poop and throw it around at each other. You got to let them rough and tough it a little bit, build up antibodies, build up immunities. You can't keep them in a bubble and think they're going to walk out, to the real world when they get older and not get incredibly sick because they got no antibodies built up. And that's exactly what's happening to her kids. They're in the hospital every 5 seconds. Because she thought, keeping everything squeaky clean when they were babies was the right way to go. And I said, no, bring them out to a farm. Let them throw a dead rat around. Let them do something, Let them toughen it up a little bit. Let them eat bud pies, Let them toughen it up a little bit, And she was like, oh, no. I said, okay, you'll see. It's like it's sad to tell my sister, well, see, I'm right. Especially with something like that. But like I said, you got to have diversity. You got to have variety because if the single strand runs, something hits it and wipes it all out, then what do? You made everything pure. Now what? Like say Hitler trying to do a master race. Like everybody going to be the same. That's ridiculous. Because when one gets sick, they all get sick and they all drop dead and die. It's like the Indians over here in this country. There's probably a couple 100 million. They got the smallpox virus and a couple 100 million died. There's like 3 left. I mean, and I can't believe the intelligent people, like say a Hitler kind of crowd, intelligent people like that didn't see what happened to the Indians and say, wait a second, if we make something so pure or just one code or one way, what could happen if the system, starts to fall down and fall apart? Then what do we do? Oh, I guess we all go under, we all die, we all, disappear altogether. Well, that's ridiculous. Why don't we have a little variety, a little diversity, a little other ways of looking at things? Oh, no, you got to go along with the program. No, not me. Sorry, I'd rather have 2, 3, 4 different programs going because if that program gets a virus, my program, I'll just switch over to the second program or the third program. I'll let the other program just die. I say, oh, well, if I could fix it someday, I could fix it. If not, I got 2 more programs running. What the hell do I care? I got backups. So they'll just say it's more efficient that way. Good, love them. You're lovely. It's more efficient, more productive, lovely. But when the system goes down, then what happens? That's what they're trying to do all over planet Earth. They're trying to make like China the manufacturing base, like Asia the manufacturing base, like say England the financial base, or the Americas the base of raw material. So they're trying to, but what happens when an earthquake hits England? Then what? Your financial of the world goes down. Then what? Or, they did here in the United States. They took all the manufacturing out. Like we used to make sheets and towels where I lived in North Carolina. It was called a mill town. And we made towels, and Cannon Mills was huge. And now in the United States, we don't make one towel, one sheet, one pair of underwear, one pair of socks, unless you got a little private mill. There is no more mass production of like underwear or sheets and towels. They're all made in China or the Asian continent. So if something happens to the trade between us and Asia, people are going to realize that, hey, where did all the underwear and socks go? Where'd they all go in the store, in Walmart? Where'd they go? Oh, well, remember that embargo that you wanted on China because they were invading Acapulco-stan? Oh, yeah, they should never invade Acapulco-stan. It's like, yeah, well, we put a trade embargo on them? Yeah, well, you know what? We were getting all our underwear and socks in there, and nothing's coming in. Well, why did we put embargo on them? Because they were invading their border, or they whatever. They say, well, that's a stupid policy. How about we lift the embargo? Like what's going to happen to poor Europe this winter? They're embargoing against Russia. Well, where do you guys get all your natural gas and oil from? And not using it. Well, not so much England, but the rest of Europe. They get it from Russia. And they're going to be threatened. Like, where do we get all oil and gas from now? So it's just silly how, like I said, diversity is very important. And just to have your stuff coming from one source or one code is incredibly dangerous. So, like I said, when they said when you go to court, you just come in at a Crown Court. Don't just come in a Crown Court. Bring another court with you. But they'll say, but we don't like other courts. We just like Crown Court. We like to always win. Yeah, I know. The only problem is I'm going to bring the common law court with me. I'm going to bring the court of man. Well, we don't like that court. Well, tough. Well, why can't you just do it like everybody else does and just go to jail or let us take everything from you? Because I don't wish to. I wish to come in with, thank God, England and in the United States and Canada, we still have the right to evoke common law. We still have the right to evoke them. The creator could still come forward into a public courthouse, and the creator, man, could just say, you better hold your horses there, judge and prosecutor. Man created you, and you can't harm your creator. And I certainly know you don't want to harm me. I certainly know you don't wish to do that, Bob, Joe, Susie. I sure you know you don't want to harm another man, do you? Well, I'm acting as a judge. Well, your acting skills and your acting ability is going to cause harm to me. So you want to cut that? You want to cut out acting now? You want to put that to the side and realize that there's a man before you? And have I caused any harm to any man or any of those of mankind? No. Then I recommend that you stop while you can before I lay claim against you. So right now it's still a wonderful game to play. So like you said, you and your dad had fun going to court, and you were messing with these guys, and they were throwing the papers up in the air. And then I just said simply to you, why are you going around and around with these clowns for? Why are you going around and around? Why don't you just pay the $10,000, $20,000, million, the $1 billion judgment? Why don't you just pay it? And I know you get a little upset, but no, we're going to appeal it. Why don't you just pay it? Right?
Yep. Let's go back down to the definition. How to pay.
Right, exactly. So like I said to folks who, me and Bobby were talking earlier, and he was like, what, no, appeal this judgment. I said, stop. I said, just stop. Just stop. I said, who did they say you owe the debt to? They said, the Queen. And I said, okay, here in the Americas, we'd laugh our asses off because there's millions and millions of queens on planet Earth. Which queen? And then I think they said Queen Elizabeth, right?
Yeah, she's the second. That woman, the bloke who spoke first, and he threw his papers and went out. Then the next woman that came out, I said, I just wanted to clarify something, but he's gone now. And he said the Queen. Who's the Queen? And she said Queen Elizabeth.
Okay, so see, she took it from millions of queens or billions of queens down to a couple of hundreds of queens. Now, which Queen Elizabeth exactly? Because my kid is my little princess, so I got Princess Colette. Yeah. So which queen are they talking about? Which Queen Elizabeth exactly are they talking about? Queen Elizabeth the First, the Second, or Queen Elizabeth of Siam, Queen Elizabeth of Tanzania, which Queen of England, which Queen Elizabeth? And I said, and you really weren't following me too well, but I was like, you got to get a lot more. It's got to be expressed. It's got to be dead on. It's got to be good law. It only can mean one thing and one thing only. So they say the Queen. Well, that's not one thing and one thing only. It's billions maybe of queens. Okay, now Queen Elizabeth. Okay, maybe it's a couple of hundreds of Queen Elizabeths. Come on, you got to be precise here. We're talking law now. It's got to be deadly accurate. My life is on the line here. I'm hanging on the end of a rope here. You're going to take all my property, take everything I've ever worked for, hoped for, loved my whole life. We got to be a little more precise here. Which Queen Elizabeth? And it's like, Queen Elizabeth Mary, whatever her last name is, Finkelstein or whatever that German name of hers is. Whatever. What's her name?
I don't know, something like Gothenburg or something. I'll have to
Google it. Say, you mean Queen Elizabeth Mary Windsor, Finkelstein, Gothenstein, whatever. Oh, okay, the German lady who's sitting in Buckingham Palace right now. That nice little old 90-year-old lady. Oh, yeah, she's a doll. So I said to you, why don't you just write out a check to Queen Elizabeth Mary Finkelstein Windsor. And tell her the best you write her a lovely letter. Say that there appears to be a judgment on your behalf, in your name. And I think you've been awarded like $10 billion from, but the best I could do right now is, $5 a week or a quid a week. If you're really hard up and you can't seem to pay your bills and you need me to pay more, let me know. But, if you're sitting pretty and you really don't need more than, $5 a week, I hope you accept this and I'll get to the, paying off the judgment as fast as I can. Kind regards, have a lovely day, and sign your name. And put the check on there and say, and on the check, I wish that to make sure that you've been, the funds went to the proper Queen Elizabeth Mary Finkelstein. Can you please endorse the back? Thank you. And that's it. And mail it off. And like I said to you, I said, put it in an envelope. Ask the court clerk, where's the address of Queen Elizabeth? You say, is this the address? Buckingham Palace, 101 Buckingham Palace, London, England, 20202. Yeah. Okay, great, lovely. Here, you see me? I'm putting the check in, and can you mail it from this office? So that way there's no doubt about it. When somebody comes up and says, hey, you never paid on that judgment, I can say, oh, no, Clerk Betty I come here religiously once a week, and I give Clerk Betty the check, and she mails it off. Nobody's ever withdrawn anything on my account yet, but at least I give it to her. Now, why they're not cashing it out of my account is beyond me. Why Elizabeth isn't signing for it is beyond me. Because you could actually take that $5 check that she endorses, and you could probably go on eBay and sell her signature for 20 quid. You know what I'm saying? So, would you like Queen Elizabeth's signature? Yeah, I can get you on for 20 quid. You see what I'm saying? The fresh just came off, came out of a pen within a week, Because, see, right, you see what I'm saying? You got to have fun with this. See, because you're all stressing out, worrying about appeals and studying precedent and case law and what other judges' opinions are. It's like, screw all that shit.
Too lazy.
Yeah, I'm too lazy. There you go. I'm too lazy.
The lazy option always wins hands down.
No, there you go. There you go. I'm too lazy. Fuck it. Just pay it. I'm just going to pay it. Fuck it.
That's funny.
Yeah. You got to have fun with this, man. Because you play the same game they are. They're just bullshitting you. They know there's no Queen Elizabeth that's getting this check. They're not stupid. They're just messing with you, so you mess with them. You mess with them right back. They want to keep insisting it's the Queen Elizabeth. Great. Just pay her. What Queen Elizabeth? How the fuck do I know? The money just sits in my checking account. I've been mailing her checks for the last 57 years, and she hasn't touched a dime out of my account. Because as soon as if she did start cashing the checks, I was like, oh, wait a second. Can you tell me again what this judgment was for? I don't remember. Do you remember? Because, you made a claim against me, and can you tell me what this judgment was about? Then you could start going actually after her. Say, wait a second. Do you believe that was the judgment, the claim that you made against me was true? Or are you even aware that you had a claim against me? See, but like I said, first just put the checks in the mail before we even start playing. Let's hold her liable for fucking, like fraud. That she never moved a damn thing against you. Why she cashing your checks? She should have just sent them back and said, "Sir, I got no effing idea what you're talking about. I never made a claim against you. I don't know. There's not a judge. I don't know." And then you could take it to the court clerk and say, "Wait a second. The Queen said she has no effing idea what the hell I'm talking about. So again, tell me, who's this Queen? I must be mailing it to the wrong one." You see what I'm saying? Just have fun with it, man. Don't take it so damn serious, man. You're taking it too damn serious, man.
I wish I did take it seriously. I don't think I don't know. I just become too relaxed.
Well, like I said, I think I'm super relaxed. Then okay, you're relaxed. I'm like sleeping.
You're vertical, man. So you're not. Well, sometimes you're vertical and sometimes you're horizontal. It depends on what mood.
Yeah. But like I said, this is so simple. It's scary. It's funny, man. That's what I would do. What the hell? You got everybody saying it's the Queen. Good. Lovely. You got it all recorded. That's lovely. And there's just so
I'm ridiculous with my records. We have nothing. I think I've got hours of recordings of all sorts of stupid stuff. People say in the courts. It's just hilarious. I just think, oh yeah, I think I'm going to play this shit back and put it on a DVD just to burn it one day, just to have fun with it.
Well, let's tell people, man, the United States of America, you see what I'm saying, how much fun this could be? Just mailing this damn fucking payment. What the fuck's your problem?
No, I think you're right. Maybe I should be putting some of these signatures on eBay.
Yeah. See what I'm saying? You can have a lot of fun with this, man. You just got to get, like I said, man, you just got to get into the game. You got to understand that they all know it's fraud. and they know it's all bullshit. So you got to play the bullshit game. It's like you got to learn how to bullshit better than them. That's all. It's all fraud. I always tell everybody that. Only God knows what's true. I just witness what God allows me to witness. I said, I have no effing clue. I'm not God. I know what the hell is true. You want to say everything Karl does is fraud? You know what? That'd be a safer bet to say everything I do is fraud than say everything I do is true, because I'm not God. So I bet on the side that what did Karl witness? He witnessed the UFO landing. Oh, really? Just like if you told me, it's like, Karl, I witnessed the UFO landing. You and he, I think you did that a couple of times with me. And I said, Paul, you don't see me laughing. You're like, what? This man said that. That's the way it is. If that's what he believes, that's what he believes. I said, oh, but it sounds so ridiculous. No, it doesn't. If this is what this man in his heart, if this is what this man is saying is true, I'm nobody to judge him. I'm not here to tell him that he's full of shit. I'm not here to tell him that he's lying. I'm not here to tell him he's insane. Maybe God allows him to witness things that I could only wish God would allow me to witness. Maybe he can see space aliens. Maybe he can see dead people walking. Maybe he's got that special gift. I don't have an effing clue. But I'm certainly not going to say he's crazy. I'm certainly not going to say, well, of course the world is flat. Look at this crazy guy, Columbus, saying it's round. I'm just going to say, you know what, Columbus, if you think it's round, you go for it. Have at it. If you think you see walking dead people, hey, why don't you take a picture? Take a picture. Well, make a camera that can take pictures of dead people. We'll take a camera next time you see a UFO. I'd really love to see one myself, but God just didn't give me that ability. But I'm not saying you're a liar. I don't know what the hell's true. If that's what you witness, that's what you witness. And that's the whole thing. If the Crown wants to say that you did this, this, and this, like I said with you on the Friday the 13th thing, I said, look, whatever this prosecutor, I'm sure he's a good guy and he works real hard, and he's saying that these folks did all these things. I'm sure he believes he's telling the truth. I'm sure he believes that these are horrible people. I'm sure he believes it. The only problem is you know what? There's no damage done. There's no man that's going to come forward and says any harm, injury, or loss has occurred. So all his beliefs that these people are space aliens and Walking Dead or terrorists or that's lovely. The only problem is there's no man who's going to come forth, point across the courtroom, and claim that they require compensation for any harm, injury, or loss for the damages that these folks over here did. And since caveman time started, that's a requirement of court. Now, administratively, it's not a requirement, but in a true court of common law and man on man, it's a major requirement, and we stand here as a man. We don't stand here as a person. As a person, he could say anything about you, but I don't owe a duty or an obligation, and you may not impose upon me because I'm not part of your society. I don't wish to be. Because if these are the sick, crazy rules of your society, I certainly don't want to be a member. And I'm certainly not putting on a wig.
Sure, compensating.
Yeah, and I'm not putting on a gown. I ain't doing it. I ain't appearing in court as a woman. I ain't doing it.